Hi, and welcome everyone once again to another great Atos Global Manufacturing Fireside Chat. This is already episode number 4. Can't believe it. We just started with that format and we are already in round 4. We all remember the last time we had a great talk with Tilo Stieber, Chief Digital Officer of Manufacturing, about the Smart Manufacturing Studio, the offering we have for our customers if they come for a workshop with us. What we're going to make that their experience will be something very, very special. And that all those workshops are tailor-made. And I'm not sure if we mentioned that, but it's also a thing like for upselling. Those workshops are normally free of charge. So for the customers who want to dig into Smart Manufacturing Studio session, please use the possibility to register for one, and we'll be happy to set a workshop up together with you, going for great solutions. But, well, there is one thing. You can have the best offering, but if people don't know about the offering, well, you have that offering sitting alone. So I think this is why they invented marketing couple of years ago. And even now, especially in those times, marketing is so important because you need to find new ways of bringing messages out, bringing offerings out, engaging people. And this is something like that has changed, and it had to change. And well, I will stop talking about marketing, even if I have a background in marketing, but we have experts with that. So today, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome Anam Khawar, Global Marketing and Communications Officer for Manufacturing here at Atos. So Anam, great to see you and have you here on stage. Hello, how are you doing?
Hi, Friso. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. I'm just looking so forward on what you're going to tell us about, like the learnings, the things we have done, and exactly where we are here right now. That's also part of the results. Also, you co-created that we are going on different channels because it's so important. But today it's not about talking for me. It's like, first of all, how is it working in a marketing, in a global, a corporate marketing team right now, when you can't see people, when you can't have meetings, when you can't have fairs, when you can't have events? So how is it like working in a team like that, being remote mostly all the time?
Yeah, I think, if I had to summarize it in one word, I would actually say it's incredibly rewarding. I think when you're working in a global company, having to navigate like a complex ecosystem has its challenges, but equally then the output is just as impactful and powerful. And I think when you work in a global company within a global team, it also kind of gives you insight into all the different markets and how the industry is operating in those markets, and then being able to actually see the similarities and the differences and then pull all of that together. So not only does it just inform like your own marketing strategy, but it also helps clients deliver value to their own businesses. And then I guess finally, one last point I would add is, I think out of all the industries, manufacturing is probably the industry that is inherently global. It has to be global, because when you look at the end-to-end sort of value chain, from where things are prototyped, tested, manufactured, all the way delivered to the end user, especially in this day and age, it doesn't happen in one location. So having that global perspective of that end-to-end supply chain, I think it's absolutely priceless, and as I said, really exciting and rewarding.
Well, I can absolutely imagine this. On the one hand side, it's a huge advantage, like working in a part of a global network, in a global team where we can reach customers worldwide. On the other hand, say like there are different cultures, different ways of communication. There are so many things that you have to take care of. That's something like you had to encounter, especially during the last year, right? So COVID changed everything. And also in my intro in promoting that, I said like, things are never changing until they have to change. And I can still remember reading my 600 pages Kotla on marketing, how you set up a marketing mix, how you do with print and all that. What do you say? How did the pandemic impact the way you interact with clients, you do marketing right now?
Yeah, good question. So some marketing teams, not all, but there are quite a few who often focus on putting together just channel strategies. So you'd have a strategy for like social media, for content, PR, events, etc., which is a good thing because you want those sub strategies for those channels and platforms. But often that's the only focus, is the channel and platform. And I think sometimes these days that's what marketing has become, where they just focus on that. And the downside of that is those strategies are no longer integrated, they're separate from one another, and then nor are they actually aligned to like a bigger mission statement or aligned to the business. And the reason why I wanted to highlight that is because in Atos manufacturing, for us, marketing isn't actually about the channel or the platform per se. They're important enablers that help us deliver the strategy, but the strategy is actually all about the client. It's about connecting the business to the client. So then actually the business can be of service to the client. And if we go by that, our strategy then has to be aligned to help the business deliver its objectives to help the client. And because I think in Atos manufacturing, we have been working that way, when it then did come to the pandemic, we lost like those channels, as you rightly so mentioned. So things like face-to-face meetings and face-to-face events, which are so important to building like intimate rapport with clients. But I can't say it was as devastating for us as it might have been for other people, because again, our focus was never just the channel or the platform, it was the client itself. So as an example, we had to just simply reassess and readjust the way we implemented the strategy. So instead of like, I think when I think back to the past year and a half when the whole pandemic kicked off, we didn't do like a single webinar, because again, for us, it wasn't about, well, we can't do face-to-face, so let's just do digital for the sake of digital. Let's just do something that sticks to the wall. And for us, it was still the main strategy and client was still the main focus. So it was thinking about, well, how do we just filter that to a different way of working? And so what we ended up doing was running really intimate roundtables and workshops for our accounts, but also for specific stakeholders within those accounts, to keep them connected to the business, to keep them connected to our experts. And again, so it was valuable for them, not just something that, we were just thinking digital first, let's just do something digital. And some of that was so successful, actually, that they've gone on to formulate part of our more long-term marketing strategy. And then I guess just one final point that I would add is, in Atos, marketing is often aligned really closely with the commercial teams, and especially like in manufacturing for us, we always work really closely with the accounts teams, the sales teams, to make sure again that the client is the center of it. And so with the pandemic, what was interesting is we already had those capabilities in place, but the silver lining was that it forced us to reassess how to make those ways of working even stronger with those different markets. So point being, we ended up putting together new processes with the heads of different markets in manufacturing to ensure actually the client still stays center of attention, regardless of what's happening outside in the environment. So yeah, I think that.
Wow. Yeah, but that really sounds like an integrated journey. A lot of things you have to think about, a lot of things you have to look about. You said that intimate sessions, those intimate events where you still create some sort of that boundary which you normally have during a live event or just on a fair in the talk, where you're just like sitting side by side, looking into each other's eye and say, okay, let's do that. Let's go for that project, for example. I think totally understand that, because I'm doing now live since 1.5 years, and my best friend is now a camera lens, and we kind of like each other, but
I think the camera likes you, Frieza.
Right. Thank you. Just good filters applied on that, so that's my thesis. No, but it really is sometimes hard, and I remember, for example, a very special wine tasting event we did where we had like top customers on that, where was like. At the beginning, even as I was doing a lot of live things and remote sessions, I was wondering if that will work out like it did, absolutely. And I think also maybe what were your experience on that wine festival, for example, also in regards of setting that up, but how was it for you?
No, I think that's spot on. That's one of the fantastic examples that actually I was thinking of when I was talking about some of the initiatives were so successful that we're actually rolling them out for a long-term strategy. So I guess very quickly, for people who might not know, the wine tasting festival was obviously bringing together some of our top clients. And initially, outside of the pandemic, it would have been done face to face, but because of the pandemic, it was done online. And as the title of the event suggested, it was delivering wines to clients and having a tasting session. And of course, there could be some chit chat about business, but ultimately it was just about rekindling those relationships and helping our clients meet other clients. So actually, don't just speak to Atos, speak to each other, get to know each other, share learnings, share stories. And it was logistically very challenging, but as again, like I was referring to earlier, with big challenges come also big rewards, and it was so successful with regards to the impact it had and how I think the clients actually enjoyed it and what they took away from it, to the point where we've set up we're looking into set up multiple other wine tasting sessions. And I guess the bottom line for that is, for us, it's not just about business per se, right? It's about relationships, and that's exactly what that wine tasting event was about. It's about trying to highlight those relationships and build on them.
Yeah. Oh, that was perfect, and I still can remember that we even could manage like the cheers like with our glasses in a virtual world. And we also got a comment here from Vishish that you say like, okay, more online events and sessions can be planned. Yes, totally. And something it's also we can bring in more experts from all over the world, which is now way more possible. And I think that was also some good feedback we received from the customers. Still, it is something other to plan. So you can plan, you can adapt, like we should just saying, but it's still going another channel. So what about some learnings? Was there something you were saying, oh, this will work out, but it just didn't? And something else where you say like, that will never work out, but it just like rocked, so to say?
Well, I think with regards to like the wine festival in particular, aside from, I guess, getting insight about, again, how different industries were responding to that event and how different markets were responding to it, because you put together an idea and then you realize obviously how it's executed in different regions would vary. Different people from different regions and different markets will react to it differently. So that was really insightful, I think, when we were coordinating that whole process, to see what was clients' feedback and what was even sort of our own sales team's feedback from those different markets, from those different regions, with regards to what would work and what wouldn't work. And so when we did execute that one event in particular, there was some fantastic learnings with regards to what to develop next time where the agenda is concerned. But then equally, I think what we realized was what to take away with regards to the insight and how the agenda should be restructured for different markets, for different time zones, and for different sub-industries as well. So again, that insight, that global insight you get from those different markets is completely priceless, which you wouldn't really have if you weren't part of that global infrastructure.
Well, I can't imagine that. And I was thinking at the beginning, so part of normal marketing communication strategies, especially for bigger accounts, is something like we use IP targeting. That's one of the major things. Like in a digital world, you do IP targeting on a company. That's easy. I was thinking, sitting at home, saying, "Life, I now got my private IP. How could a company reach me as part of being in a company?" I think that was quite a challenge. But you also had some others. So, what other interesting projects you maybe want to tell us about a little? And the learnings we can take away from this also for our participants.
Yeah, I think I can't really talk about an interesting project without potentially mentioning partnerships. I think because Atos in particular, we have so many powerful partnerships with so many different companies, and I'll be here all day if I was able to talk about all of them. Unfortunately, so I can't, but I will pinpoint out, I think, Siemens, because Siemens has been such an integral part of Atos. We've had a long-standing relationship with them for many, many years from a corporate point of view across many industries. And again, I guess going back to the pandemic last year, we were then discussing and looking into, well, we already know that Atos and Siemens do some really amazing things for manufacturers behind the scenes. And I'm talking about some projects which you might think are coming out of a sci-fi movie because it's so futuristic. There's some really, really innovative stuff that we've been doing for a really long time, but we never really properly put a joint marketing plan to go to market to actually show what those capabilities were. And so this year for us, for our team, the main focus was definitely smart factory, to kind of promote the work that we've been doing in smart factories. And by that, I mean helping manufacturers, as it says, make their factory smarter through digital, but also without them losing their legacy system. So actually, how do you take the legacy infrastructure and then combine it with the latest technologies that's relevant for them, not just implementing technology for the sake of it. So that smart factory story is what we were focusing on this year with Siemens. And so for us, it was such an exciting project because we got to work with so many different divisions of Siemens, different people, pulling in all these different experts, all these insights to put together this portfolio, which just went live in H1 to show that actually these are all the capabilities and these are all the examples of work and references we've done with our clients. So that, like I said, I could be here all day talking about SAP, Google, AWS, but that's a very short glimpse of something quite exciting that we started in our team earlier this year.
Right. We just want to announce on that special occasion, this live session on LinkedIn is not sponsored by any of those. It's really about talking about the partnerships and also what we have done and the great learnings on that. So also for maybe the partners we didn't mention on that, just feel free, contact us. We're going on a LinkedIn live together and we're going to see how far we can take it. Well, that's an amazing story. And I think it was just like learning again.
Yeah, exactly.
Test and learn. New things, right? Yeah. New channels and also testing, especially testing, because you can't get evidence without testing. It's beside that, just like assumptions. And yeah, right at the point, we get another question from Lipira Prince. Yes, we will point that out just in a second. Today, we're going to cover the part about global manufacturing, marketing, like especially how we go for the smart manufacturing, communication in a way, how we engage with customers, how we invite them to workshops where we better understand their problems, because understanding a problem is half of the thing of going into the right solution, into the right framing. So this is also something you are supporting with your team together. It's like how to create that whole environment that all this is possible. And I will come to the topics about the products and services in a couple of seconds, because we planned 50 minutes. We're already at 17, so time's rushing, but it's so interesting. Please keep going.
Well, with regards to the products and services?
Right, that's the one part, how to communicate them, for example. Right. What is like the outstanding thing that also where you say, hey, wow, that's an offering we have in the market, and market communication, that's something very special.
Yeah, so for us, again, it just goes back to the client. So actually, when we've delivered something or we're innovating something, it's how we communicate that to the market. We'd always want to do it aligned with our client where possible. So whether it being sharing the success stories or sharing their insights. So like we're in the middle of launching like this brand new initiative called Manufacturing Visionaries, which is actually about getting our clients to share their expertise on a topic and to share how they've worked with Atos. So it's not about us. It's not about what we think we can or can't do. Actually, it's about trying to get our clients to talk about how is it that they've worked with us that actually help them deliver value for their business. So putting them in the forefront. So I guess that's sort of one project around content, about getting our clients, interviewing our clients and getting them to showcase their work themselves in their own words, and obviously sharing those success stories across all our social channels, all our digital channels, as well as directly to our clients as well. And then I think, as I mentioned earlier, because we are so tightly aligned with our commercial teams, with our sort of client execs and our sales teams, for us, we communicate with them with regards to actually where they are in their relationship with their clients, what is it that they're looking to do with them, for then marketing to support that communication through them, because they are the relationship holder at the end of the day. They are the closest to the client. And for us, marketing, as I said, is trying to help the salespeople connect even further and engage even further with the client. So I think those would be my top two ways that I say in manufacturing that we've been doing, is directly with the client itself to get their insight, but also directly with our salespeople who are at the forefront, who are in the factories, who are in the enterprises with the client themselves.
Well, that's perfect. Thank you. So it's like a little move from like account-based marketing to relation-based marketing, in a say, because understanding and it's marketing for each and every client. Thank you for your comment, Arun. Yes, we also think it's a great initiative. And also we are on the journey now with the LinkedIn Lives. And as you said, Anam, talking with our customers and maybe also let them have the word about the success story they have created with us in the Smart Manufacturing Studio and the outcomes. That might be something we will cover in one of the next episodes, because what we can say, we already got some more of those sessions in planning. So also for the audience, if you would be interested in a certain topic, just place it in the comments right here. We will read it, and we're also going to send on LinkedIn and also on YouTube afterwards a link to where you can find more information. So and that's perfect. We 20 minutes in, and I could go for hours. So we're just going to schedule a part 2 with you on a special topic and see if we have some special questions by our audience for that. You were in?
Yeah, absolutely. Do a whole marketing series. Maybe not just with me. We'll bring my peers along, because obviously it's definitely a team effort. It's not me single-handedly doing it. We're all working as a team. So yeah, up for that totally.
That's super. That makes me so happy. And I would say with that, it's sort of a call to action to ourselves to say like, okay, what next twist can we bring in one of our upcoming LinkedIn Lives in our Atos Global Manufacturing Fireside Chats? I would say for today, thank you so much, Anam, for joining us. Thank you for sharing that great stories. I think that was just like, wow, sometimes of mind-blowing. And on the other hand, like, okay, wow, great learning. And also that we want to pass on those learnings to others that are listening within our group, but also outside. And thank you for this. You want to say some closing words? Is there that any one thing you want to say, like, hey, if you're going on marketing right now, do this or don't do that?
No, I think with everyone in the industry, everyone's working so hard because marketing at the moment, as you said, is such a challenge. There's so much noise in the market, and cutting through that is so challenging. So, and I think the only way to get it right is truly through testing and learning, but also just aligning with the client first and aligning with the business first. I think that would be it. So yeah, I think best of luck to everybody.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I think the best closing remarks on that topic. So again, Anna, thank you so much for joining me today for episode 4.
Absolute pleasure.
So much fun. Thank you. And have a great day, and see you soon with the whole panel up there on marketing.
Thank you so much.
Your dear participants, see you later. Bye-bye. For dear participants that joined us, thank you for your questions. You still have the time to put your questions or your feedback still on the chat. We're going to have a look afterwards. And I would like also to invite you to the upcoming session. So in our next episode, which is number 5, I'm going to talk to Thilo Stieber, again, Chief Digital Officer, Global Manufacturing, about live demonstration. So really how to put things in action, how to make things tangible for smart manufacturing. So if you're interested, just let us know. We are looking forward to invite you to this session. And also we're going to post some comments on today's session about the questions that came in that we could not answer in that short time, also in the chats of this. So thank you very much. Have a great day. See you for our next Fireside Chat from the Smart Manufacturing Studio. Have a great day. Bye-bye.